did is definitely concerning, and we'll definitely talk about it. But Monday nights with my bros again, helping each other through, man. This is how we get through, y'all.
Brothers helping brothers with this goofiness of the sports world. But everybody in the chat, we appreciate you guys staying up late with us. We're up. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that bell. We're going to unpack this Ravens thing because we're going to start off right with it, right on cue. Speaking of Ravens, big shout out to Engraven. Make sure you check out Engraven vids. Engraven, it was a very, very ugly game and a very ugly end to the season. Keep up the great work over there as always, and hopefully we get you on the show real soon, brother, to give your thoughts here on the Flex on Big Reg. Appreciate you. Well, Raj, I'm gonna start with you, man. We unpacked it last night. It was a little bit of therapy. I was just really speaking off the top of my head. I didn't really have much prepared. How are you feeling a little bit more than 24 hours after the Ravens are defeated 17-10? Chiefs come in here, advance to the fourth Super Bowl in 5 years. They were in their sixth straight AFC Championship game. Ravens defense actually held Kansas City scoreless in the second half, only gave up 100 yards, but two straight opening touchdown drives. Lamar Jackson in the offense never could get going. Turnovers, penalties, self inflicted wounds, a little bit of everything. And Taylor Swift was on the field at the end of the day celebrating where people like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Anquan Bolden, Michael Phelps, T Pain even performed
Phelps,
at halftime, Cravante.
the
You know,
Phelps man building. God dog it.
Man, this was the second worst loss I've ever seen from the Baltimore Ravens. Being number one will always be the 2011 AFC Championship game against the Patriots when Lee Evans dropped a game-winning touchdown and Billy kind of missed the game-tying field goal to go into overtime. Worst game I've ever seen in my life. This is the second one.
Mm.
The Ravens had everything going in that direction. They had the entire squad built from top to bottom to be a Super Bowl team, and they just didn't get the job done. And when it really mattered the most in the biggest game, the AFC Championship game, the last game of the play, well, not the last game, but the game before the Super Bowl, they didn't get it done, and it's just awful because like everything set up for them to go. They was whooping everybody's ass, literally and figuratively. They was destroying teams left and right. Every week we was on Stephen A. Smith's, top 10, no, top 5 list, like number one, damn near for the last 2 months. And like every quarterback that was in our way was either getting hurt or just finding their way out the playoffs. From Burrow to Deshaun Watson, to Trevor Lawrence, to Tua Tagovailoa, all those dudes. Even Jalen Hurts got up out of there. It's just like everybody that was in our way that could whoop us was gone, including even Josh Allen, who just lost before we did, except one man that I did not want to see. And I said this at the beginning of the season. Y'all was saying, "Oh, we can get past the Chiefs. We can get them. They're looking weak. They don't have the weapons. They're dropping passes. I mean, he is still Patrick Mahomes, and he deserves respect. And I think the Ravens fan base got humbled yesterday. I was down there. I didn't go to the game, but I was down there. And I saw a lot of Ravens fans acting a damn fool,
Mm.
acting crazy. I seen a Ravens fan stomp on a Chief towel. I was like, what are you doing? Drunk, acting foolish. And Shaq was down there too. Shaq O'Neal was down there. Roy Jones Jr. was down there also. It was a lot of celebrities down there. And
But
the fans were acting foolish, bro. Like when I tell you there was a different audience, a different crowd from all the other games that I've been to or I've seen, it was that different. It was too different. And I knew from the jump something was up, man. I knew from the jump that This just wasn't the particular Ravens crowd that we're used to. Not even the crowd from the divisional game. So, starting out the game, like I said before, the Chiefs drive down the field, they score. Ravens match them, they score too. The Chiefs drive again, they score again. And then after that, it just, I don't know what the Ravens were doing after that. They just really decided to not run the football at all. I think only ran the ball 9 times throughout the entire game. Uh, the defense made adjustments in the second half, of course, like because they didn't score. But it just seems like every time this team, um, it seemed like every time this team tried to tie the game up, it was either a long pass or it just something just wasn't working, and Harbaugh just stood there, literally stood there, and did
Ah,
absolutely positively. I wish you had a picture of Harbaugh just standing there. That would be great.
Oh,
Just
I got you, brother. I work on it.
if you can find a picture of him just standing there looking like a sad puppy, that'd be fantastic also. But that's exactly what he was doing the entire game, just standing there doing absolutely nothing, not changing anything, not talking to Tom Munkin, not doing absolutely nothing, just standing there looking stupid while this team is throwing the ball 47 times. Well, I'm sorry, 37 times, and you're not helping your quarterback out at all. You see the offensive line getting beat constantly, and you continue to drop back, drop back, drop back. So, like I said before, man, they blew a golden opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. They literally shit the bed, and I'm not going to sit here and blame the refs. Yes, they played a hand in it, but it wasn't totally their fault. It really wasn't. I mean, we did this to ourselves. I mean, Zay Flowers should not be taunting people. He shouldn't be fumbling before he gets to the goal line. That shouldn't be doing nothing like that. And the defense had a couple stupid penalties as well. I mean, Calvin knows better. He's a two-time champion. He shouldn't be headbutting Travis Kelce. Jadeveon Clowney shouldn't be getting penalties neither. He's been in this league a very long time also. And it was just like they just kept shooting themselves in the foot every time they had a chance to get some momentum. They was either getting penalties or fumbling the football or getting picked off, throwing in the triple coverage. It's just it just was a real shit show yesterday. It really was. Like I've never seen them implode this badly. And like I've seen a lot of Ravens games. I've seen a lot of them. And I've never seen this team. Like I always see this team fight and fight. No, I'm not saying they didn't fight. They fought. It's just they just did a lot of stupid shit out there. A lot of dumb shit that you don't normally see them do. They don't do things like that. And they just decided, the AFC Championship game is time to just go out there and play our worst football of the entire year. It's just heartbreaking, man. It really is. It really is heartbreaking. Like when you have everything in your possession, you don't have no major injuries. Everybody's healthy. Lamar played a full season, got the MVP, and this is how you end the season? Really? It's just sad, man. It really is. And I know a lot of people, a lot of the not Chiefs fan, but a lot of just haters have been online talking a bunch of shit, talking crazy. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. This is what they do. This is exactly what they do. They act foolish. They talk dumb. They like, oh my God, we got to get rid of Lamar. He's a terrible quarterback and all this other stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's Dak Prescott 2.0. I'm like, has Dak Prescott been in the NFC Championship game? I can't remember if he's been in there or not.
it ain't. It ain't nothing to remember.
Does Dak Prescott have 2 MVP awards? I mean, I don't know. I never thought he did have any of those, but either way, man, my biggest problem is everybody blames everything on Lamar Jackson. And they've been doing it his entire career. It's completely unfair to him, to be honest with you. It's not like he played his worst game yesterday. He really didn't. It's just like everything around him was just completely terrible, from his offensive coordinator to his head coach to some of his wide receivers, and his offensive line was horrible. They were terrible. But he'll get the brunt of the blame, as always. He'll be getting crapped on by everybody. Um, and people who don't even know football are shitting on him right now, which is ridiculous. But this comes with the territory. This is what happens when you were the highest paid quarterback at one point. You're going to get all of the blame, and he'll be ringless. He'll be the Embiid of the NFL or the James Harden of the NFL. I've heard this type of bullshit this entire day. I listen to everybody's crap. I listen to it. I had to. I mean, because you can't get away from it. You're going to hear it in the entire time. You're going to hear it throughout the whole off season. You're going to hear it going into next season. You're just going to hear a bunch of bullshit until he finally gets over the hump, if that ever happens. But this was the season to do it, and it doesn't get no harder than what's going to happen next season. Everybody's going to be back next season. We're going to lose a bunch of pieces because we have 20 free agents, and this whole team is just going to be different. So it's going to be this is gonna haunt me for a really long time, man. Like you said, I still really haven't gotten over the 2011 season. I still remember that like it was yesterday, even though we won the Super Bowl the next year. This is as bad as it gets, man. This is as bad as it gets as a Ravens fan, and I know a lot of people are sick right now, but this just comes with the territory, man. And it's like oh, it's always next year. No, next year is just not going to be like it was this year. I already know it. So that's how I'm feeling right now. This has been it was a great season, but the ending of it was just left a terrible taste in my mouth. That was awful. It was awful. And if anybody ever experiences a team that's been perfect damn near the whole entire season, and you get to this point and you completely shit the bed, then you know exactly how I feel.
Thank you for that, Raj. Go ahead, Kavante. How you feeling, man? I know you never pick against Patrick Mahomes. You picked against him this week as well. I mean, this is just what can you do, man? What are your thoughts?
I'm all over the place because I did not. So they say game recognized game. The Ravens were looking quite unfamiliar on Sunday afternoon, and I was baffled. I was like, who are these people perpetrating in these Ravens uniforms? I just don't know. Every time I look up, Lamar's throwing the ball. His final stat on attempts was like 37. Like what? I think there was like there was there. I don't think there was 10. I don't think they rushed the ball 10 times the whole game. Like non-Lamar runs, I think it was like 8, maybe. And then Lamar has his own carry, or not design runs, but like scrambles and all that. So they don't really count. So running back running plays, it was like 8, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And I was just stuck. Like I can't believe. It's like they took Todd Monken's entire playbook, opened the window, and threw it out, and picked up some college air raid offense and tried to run it. I was completely confused, like legitly the entire game. And shout out and please, we're gonna give credit. 6 running back carries, crazy. If all right, so we're going. Patrick Mahomes is going to get his credit. Patrick Mahomes is absolutely going to get his credit. But goddamn, that Chiefs defense is really good. But I didn't feel like it was that good to abandon the run like that quick. Like, and it's not even like they ran the ball and then abandoned the run. It's like they never ran the ball. And this Ravens team led the league in rush. I believe they led the league in rush yards per game and rush attempts. So this is mind blowing that the team that has been running the football, as you said, Raj, kicking ass all year, doing this, and then they say AFC Championship game, throw it out the window. We're gonna do something totally different this time. It's absolutely absurd. But one of my keys to the game, and one of my keys to every game, is turnovers. If Lamar takes care of the ball, the Ravens have a chance to win any and every game that he participates in. But not one, two turnovers on Lamar, and of course the third one was from Zay Flowers. And it's like, all right, Zay Flowers trying to make a play, trying to get in the end zone. He's young, he's a rookie. I'm not gonna blame that on him. But that penalty, he did a lot. And it wasn't even like it and it wasn't even like it was on a touchdown play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, they look like they haven't been there before. That's what it looked like. The Ravens looked like they was ill prepared and that they have not been there before. They looked like they was the new kids on the block to the AFC Championship. And Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and them been here, done that several times over. And I don't know. I feel like I didn't see Likely. I didn't see Odell. Um, I didn't see any of the heavy hitters that's been there until like the late in the second half. And I was like, Lamar's dropped back to pass a lot of times. Where are these people at? I I don't know. I just I don't know. I was lost. And I was like, I know Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes. But I felt like the Ravens had a better team. Yeah, home field advantage throughout. The Super Bowl has to come through Baltimore. And the one time, well, Patrick Mahomes made it 6-time AFC Championship. First time on the road. All right, this is your chance to get him. This is your chance to get him. And I felt like, in a weird way, it was like, was the lights too bright in M&T? I don't think so. But were they? It's like Lamar Jackson turned into, I don't know. You stopped doing what got you there. And honestly, to most of the teams that lose, most of the time they stop doing what got them there. And again, the Ravens have been the best rushing team all year, and they did nothing of the sort. It's like it's very interesting because it's like Lamar Jackson trying to be Patrick Mahomes, and we all know that's not the case. Lamar Jackson has been is going to be a 2-time MVP, doing it the way he's been doing it. Why are you changing the AFC Championship? For the life of me, I don't understand. I do not understand. But
And I was gonna say, you know what else? This is not the first time. This is not the first time that they have not ran the football in a playoff game. The last time was in I think not 2019 when they played the Tennessee Titans. They completely stopped running the football in that game as well. They didn't give Gus Edwards. They didn't give him really no carries in that game, and they went away from their game plan again. The main culprit of all of this is John Harbaugh. He is the main culprit of all of this because he is the head coach. He's the first person to contact to get the offensive coordinator to change something. And he, like I said before, on Sunday he did absolutely nothing. He just stood there, and he said I remember him saying when he was talking to the sideline reporter going into the second half, we have to establish the run. We have to run the football. He said that. I literally heard him say that, and they still didn't run the football at all. So that's why. That's exactly why. But I'm sorry to cut you off.
Hey, brother, listen. This is y'all session, man. I'm just telling you what I see from the outside looking in. I look up to this team and this organization. I want my organization to emulate, to mirror what the Ravens organization is and has stood for. And for one game, y'all got away from it. And y'all couldn't have picked a worse time, opponent, the whole situation. And it's like, yo, like, did y'all, like, was everybody aware that the AFC Championship game was today? Was everybody aware that this game was for a trip to Vegas for the Super Bowl, for Super Bowl 58? Was everybody aware of this? Uh, I don't know. And the Chiefs, and so the craziest thing is like, okay, it'd be one thing if y'all got blown out early, and the Chiefs ran away with it. It'd have been another thing if y'all played Ravens football and the Chiefs played Chiefs football and you lose. That's another thing. But for neither of those things to happen, the Chiefs, that wasn't Chiefs football. That wasn't Ravens football. Nobody was blowing out anybody. This game was quite close. But for you not to show up makes this hurt a little bit more, because it was chance after chance. It was like, the Ravens are not out of it. The Ravens are not out of it. The Ravens are not out of it. All the way up until Valdez-Scantling, I feel like, caught his first pass of the game. And I was like, damn, the Ravens are out of it. I don't know. If y'all to play Ravens football and y'all lose on that, tip your hat to the tribal chief and move on.
I can live with that.
But that's not what happened, because y'all didn't play Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did not play Ravens. Y'all, you can live with it, because, like, yo, at the end of the day, if this would have been a shootout and the Ravens would have lost 35-31, tip your hat. You know what I'm saying? Because the Chiefs would have had to play a hell of a game against that Mike McDonald best defense of the year to put up 35. And if you lose like that, tip your hat to them. Or if they would have jumped on y'all and just ran away with it, all right, bro. But to be on pins and needles the whole game, and the game never was out of reach, but you just didn't make the plays that you always made all year, that's what hurts. And I'm just saying my own way what Raj said, because they did not do what got them there. Because what got them there, if they'd have played that way, you might have blown this team out. Because the Chiefs did not score near a point in the second half. So I see the pain, and I understand it, because I sat and watched, and I was like, it's not over. It's not over. And I did not feel like it was over until the very end. Because it was like, damn, you just got one stop. Get the ball back, baby. And it can happen. Patrick Mahomes made one too many plays.
He did what
Dre, what's up, man? And also,
Cool, man?
the biggest thing, my number one thing. Listen, man, Lamar don't turn the ball over, they got a chance. They absolutely got a chance. But if it's gonna be 3 turnovers to 0, you're not beating an elite quarterback. I don't care how good or bad he looks in that game. 3-0. It is tough to beat the tribal chief like that.
All right, let's bring in Dre. No kicks and giggles today. We're just gonna get straight to it. Dre, what's up, brother? And real quick, it felt like, though, if Zay would have just went in the end zone or just went down at the 1, 17-14, the Ravens would have had the momentum. So,
Bruh. I mean, where do I begin? Overall, bad. bad game from the Ravens. I mean, like I said, I mean, you know, great points. Y'all gave in the post game, and then coming on, I just heard Cravante and what he was saying. We can talk about the conspiracy theories from the referee, um, Smith. We can talk about the Taylor Swift effect. We could, there's so many holes that we can poke at. Um, the overall team just played bad. I don't want to hear about necessarily that it was just Lamar. The defense too, because I was there with Raj and D. The beginning when uh, the Ravens literally got punched in the mouth, and it was a shock to them. You could just tell, like, the defense is like, a defense that's been dominating, been number one all year, and then for you to just get like hit in the face. It was a completely different game from last week, from the Texans game, when they were only scored 3 points on offense, and then of course the special teams scored a touchdown. But this game, you could just see that Patrick Mahomes down the field, bam, instant touchdown. Yes, Lamar was able to make a spectacular play with Zay Flowers and tie it up, but then Patrick Mahomes, bam, another one. It's like, well, geez, we can't. Offensively, Patrick Mahomes and them probably felt like, man, we can get these guys, and Ravens are probably feeling like, man, we have this guy's either better than what we thought, or, well, this team is probably better than what we thought, or this may not be our day. Like, eventually the Ravens defense, they did. I do give them credit. They were able to shut Patrick Mahomes down uh, in the second half, but that first half wasn't looking good at all. The Ravens just got away from their identity. And I heard Ryan Clark say that it seemed like the Ravens suffered from imposter syndrome, and which they really did, because the Ravens got away from everything that brought them to the AFC Championship game. I'm looking at the game, and is moments when I'm like, run, like, I'm just gonna say it. I yelled at the TV, run, nigga, run, because I just didn't understand. Like, my nigga, like, the whole Lamar Jackson, this is what you do. You tuck the ball and you run that motherfucker. And then I'm just like, I'm there like, nigga.
That's right. No more corporate Dre. That's right. Come on. Let it out.
I just don't understand. Like, dude, you see that the receivers are covered, and like when they scored the touchdown early in the first quarter, he did things like extending the play with his legs, and then it's like, I don't know if it's him trying to prove that he can throw. I don't know if it was the offensive coordinator and horrible. I don't know what it was, but this team was just off the whole time. And it was as if the moment was just it felt like the moment was too big for them, as if they were there and they had to prove that we belonged to be here, while the Chiefs just stuck to who they were, the tribal Chiefs. And I have to have my hat off to Patrick Mahomes, because he proved he's the tribal chief this year. In a year when we all thought the Chiefs were down, he's beating Buffalo, which means he's beating Josh Allen, and he's beating Lamar Jackson. And it's a fact that only two quarterbacks have beaten this man, Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. So, and this was the moment and it's so frustrating, because this was Lamar's moment to just take it. Like, 2 MVPs, you right there with Patrick Mahomes at 2 MVPs. The only thing missing from your resume right now is a Super Bowl. And even if you got to the Super Bowl and you lost, at least you can be right there and say, like with Joe Burrow, hey, I got to a Super Bowl just like you, but I got 2 MVPs over you, and I got a couple division titles. But now it's just like Patrick Mahomes and everybody else. Because yes, Lamar, you have your 2 MVPs, but you didn't play like an MVP yesterday in an important game when everything was for you. Number one seed, home field advantage, Patrick Mahomes is coming to your house and you didn't live up to expectations at all. And like I said, it's a total team failure because Lamar didn't play that great. But it's sad because it's like on offense too. Zay Flowers and Lamar were the two who cost you, but at the same time they were the two who kept you in the game. You can't fumble. Lamar up there fumbling the football. Same thing with Zay Flowers. I don't know what the hell Zay Flowers was doing after he caught the football. Nigga, you down and you going to sit up there and flex. Like, what are you flexing?
Then the dude he flexed on made him fumble.
Exactly. Nigga, like if you gonna flex, at least get into the end zone. You just caught a pass and then you gonna push him and spin the football. I'm like, what is you doing?
He's doing dumb stuff.
That's as dumb as Deshaun Jackson on Monday Night Football when he thought he scored and then fumbled at the 1 yard line. I'm just like, and then the nigga cut his hand.
Well, now that's goofy.
Clearly,
Just stupid. And then he cut his hand on the sideline after like when he was frustrated.
he said
Yes.
that his hand was on. He said that his hand was already cut. It just opened back up.
No, nigga, you cut your hand on the sideline. That's what happened, nigga. Like, just dumbness. Like, I don't understand what this team was doing. I don't know if Taylor Swift being there was just too much for them, but it just.
I mean, no, it wasn't just Taylor Swift. It was Shaq. It was Floyd May. No, not Floyd Mayweather. It was Shaq. It was Roy Jones Jr. It was Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs. It was everybody that was in attendance. You know,
Jonathan
J.O. was there too.
Michael Phelps. It was like T-Pain. Everybody who everybody was in that motherfucker on yesterday.
I want to play something.
It was the whole crew that was in there that just made them be like star-studded and didn't know what the hell to do in this game. It's like they're not used to this. They're not used to that type of attention on them. They're used to being the underdogs, honestly. They're used to not having this. But everything was handed to them. Everything was put on a silver platter. They was getting praised throughout the entire week. Everybody picked them to win. Everybody, even their haters, picked them to win. Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp picked them to win. And when the lights were bright, they folded like a tent.
Yeah, I think it was what Boomer is the only one on CBS that didn't pick them, and of course, you know, Nick Wright, he didn't pick them.
Oh, Nick Wright's an asshole, man. He's a Jesus.
He is, but
he's
but I told you. I mean, I like the guy, but
I do. I mean, he's entertaining. I will give him that, but he's still a jackass, though.
They it really felt like that. It just felt like the moment was too big. I mean, there's some, I'm gonna come with some of the numbers. Sean Smith, who was the referee, he's been officiating since 2018, and the home teams have won 40% whenever he's officiated. He normally in these games has been favoring the road teams. So, I mean, that was a factor that people, do talk about. And I'll admit there were some questionable calls. But even with some of the questionable calls, even with the Taylor Swift effect, the Baltimore Ravens at the end of the day did not do what they needed to do in order to win that football game. I just can't blame the.
Hey Dre, I led my preview. If you watch my Ravens preview, the first thing I talked about was him. That is the first thing I talked about. I broke down all his numbers. 20% more penalties on the home team. The road team wins at a higher rate. That just doesn't sit well with me. I'm sorry.
No, but I mean, and that's a good point. But we lost that football game. I can't necessarily say because he was officiating we lost. I mean, it was a total team meltdown. And and one thing that when I was with Raj, that he pointed out, what happened to them running the football? That's what I mean. Like the Ravens has got away from that identity. It's just like And I saw on ESPN they were saying that he dropped back like 82% of the time. Like it's it was just it was just weird. I don't understand what Monken's game plan was. Now people up there saying that maybe Greg Roman wasn't that bad after all.
Well,
It's
that was Rex Ryan this morning.
Yeah, I wanted to play
yeah,
that actually, Drake, because
uh,
I did hear him go off.
and I another thing too was like when Odell finally caught a pass. I'm like, nigga, where you been at? Like, I just it, I don't know where the team was. I don't know what Lamar was thinking. I just don't understand this team. Um, it felt I remember what was that 2011 when we were really close, but then we lost because of the missed field goal. This
No,
time
we
it
lost
feels
because of two instances. I explained it. The Lee Evans drop, which would have won us the game, and then the missed tie from the Cundiff one.
uh, it's like the Ravens. We have these moments. I remember TJ Houshmandzadeh dropping a pass some years ago. It's like we have these moments where we're like close, but then no cigar. So it's like, can this team come back next year? Yes, but it's going to be harder because Joe Burrow will be back and healthy. This the Chiefs team, they're not going to be as down as they were this past year. I'm pretty sure the Bills are going to do what they need to do in order to get better. So it's like all the things were aligned for the Ravens to get it done this year. And then I even said the previous week, I said, whoever we take on in the NFC, we'll beat them because we've beaten both teams and we've annihilated them. But Byron made a great point when he said, if we really want to prove that we're a championship team, we have to get past the tribal chief. And like on Sunday, he smashed him, he stacked him, he pinned him, and he showed you why this man is in a stratosphere of his own. Because there's nobody right now, there's no rival, there's nobody equal right now to Patrick Mahomes. He is the undisputed king of the NFL. He is the tribal chief. And I am here to say, tribal chief, I acknowledge you.
All they
Yes,
had to
I
all,
acknowledge you as well, Tribal Chief. Yes, you.
all they had to
Do
do
you
was play the
acknowledge him,
deck.
Cravante?
What?
He's been acknowledged them. What do you mean is he
I
acknowledged?
just want it on record. You
Weird.
say you acknowledge him, damn it.
Look.
Do
All
you
they had to do was
acknowledge him?
play. All they had to do was play the music after they beat us. Play his theme music, and he hold up the championship belt. Because he is the reigning defending champion, literally. So, of course, he's acknowledged, man. I mean, he's whooped our ass for the last 5 years. I mean, every time we play him, he damn near whoops our ass. So this is nothing new. This is nothing new, really. And this is exactly why I said I did not want to see him. I don't give a
We
damn
were
if he
going to
doesn't
have
have
to see him,
anybody
No,
Rod.
bro.
as a
We
wide
were going to
receiver.
have
I
to see
don't
him.
want to see him.
We were going to
But
have to see him, or we weren't going to keep him.
sadly, we had to see him, and sadly, the same result came, and we did it to ourselves yet again.
Let me play the
Terrible.
Rex Ryan clip real quick. Let me get this up, and then we can unpack it. But also, I did see earlier, and I was afraid of this. Rod, you mentioned losing 20 free agents, but Joe Ortiz will
It's
go with
gone.
Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. I said it when he got the job. We're going to get rid of that phrase chargering because I think the Chargers are building something. Joe Ortiz, director of player personnel, basically he drafts all the guys that the Ravens get. So that's a big loss for the Ravens. And I'm very, very pissed off about that. And apparently Mike McDonald might get the Seahawks job. It's between him and Johnson. And I think Johnson's going to your Commanders, Cavante. So let
Somebody, as D would say, somebody's getting a Johnson.
Yeah, let me play this. Let me play this clip and we can unpack that stuff. Let me play this real quick.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Before you play. Oh, well, yeah.
Go ahead. Let me play it.
Scroll it down a little bit more.
Here we go with the.
There you go. I want them next. Are you playing it? I can't hear it.
Yeah,
Can't hear it?
Can't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me do this real quick. Let me turn it up real quick. Make sure y'all can hear me. 1 second, guys. Try it again now. But yeah, very goofiness. A lot of goofiness here.
Was plenty of goofiness to go around.
Let me. There you go. Might help if I share the audio. Goofy. Let's see. We should be able to hear it.
Do it himself.
Yeah, let's try this again.
In the hell are you doing dropping back 82% of the time? This is the stupidest game plan I've ever seen. And you know what, Greg Roman, every single person needs to apologize to you because you got blamed for everything about what was wrong in Baltimore. And it wasn't you because this new guy that we have praised the hell out of.
Todd Monken.
Yeah, Todd Monken. By the way,
With the new guy.
you don't have Tom Brady. Do you realize your quarterback is Lamar Jackson, not Tom Brady? What in the hell are you doing dropping back 82% of the time? This is a team that led the NFL in rushing attempts. They had 6 whopping rushing attempts to the running backs. So Spags like, I'll put every little dude. Hey, RC, you go play D tackle because they ain't going to run the ball. What the hell are you doing? This is the...
There you go, Rex Ryan.
Great points. I think he took a little too far with the whole Greg Roman thing.
No, he didn't.
I think
he did not.
No, because I think Todd Monken did get away from his game plan, but we saw the offense.
He never had a game plan. He never had one.
Well,
he didn't have a game plan because if that was the case, he would have ran the football.
But the offense was prior to yesterday, the offense is completely different, and it led Lamar to another MVP.
To your point, Dre, think about last week against the Texans. The first half, they were getting stopped. Second half, they came out. They realized they were blitzing. They got rid of the ball quickly, had some easy passes. You even saw Kansas City do it the whole game. Quick screens. We tried them, and we didn't do anything. We trying to throw the ball 30 yards down the field. And we have a terrible offensive line that's old. That's going to be replaced. It's a lot of things going wrong. It's just they need another receiver.
Clearly.
Because Odell was MIA, and it was just literally, like I said, it was just Zay Flowers and Lamar.
Fun fact: Lamar Jackson had more receiving yards than Rashad Bateman. Clear.
And here's another fun fact: Rashad Bateman was open a lot in this game and was never receiving the ball. This is another issue that I've had with this team this entire season. And this is an issue that's between Lamar and Bateman. They have never, ever gotten it right this entire season. And Bateman's been healthy most of the season. And he's been open a lot this season. Now, granted, he drops the ball every now and again, but you never gave his brother a chance to get the football. You gave him a chance last week and he caught it, especially on some key plays. This game, he was wide open on a lot of plays. If you watched the all 22, he was doing his thing. And I don't understand why Lamar and him don't have a connection. I don't get it. But if for next season, you better start getting his brother involved because he gets the most separation out of anybody on the team. The most separation, and you don't get to him.
I didn't understand that either. Lamar was really like going for like the home run instead of checking it down. If you see that things aren't working offensively, because you could see offensively they didn't make any adjustments, but the defense is the one who made the adjustments because the defense is the one who kept them in the game. Like I said, that second half they didn't score again, but offensively, fumbling, interceptions, and then even in the interception, yes, it was a bad interception. But you have to see too that Lamar sees what likely when he's going like this. He's thinking likely has it. Good read on the defense. I don't understand putting in triple coverage, really though. And then I just don't understand why you're throwing you're putting in triple coverage. You send over there. Like I said, Lamar fumbled. Zay Flowers fumbled. Not running the football at all. Lamar not tucking it and running it. Those all things contribute. And like we were saying, The Texans game made the adjustments. This game, they made no adjustments whatsoever. And it's like, well, if it isn't working, we're going to keep trying it. And it never, whatever you were trying, never seemed to work. That damn NFC game was better when the 49ers were getting blown out than what I saw that garbage performance yesterday from the Baltimore Ravens.
You to be honest with you, I didn't know that his father was black.
Lamar Jackson special player. That's special player. I flew these in from Cuba. I had them shipped in from Cuba just for this occasion.
Yeah, I did. Lamar Jackson. Yep, Dad was on the field. Everybody was on the field.
Unpacks.
I did not know. I did not know his dad was black. I didn't know that.
Yes, Raj. You thought he was white? You thought he was white?
Wait a minute. You didn't know whose dad was black?
He used to play baseball.
I didn't know his dad was black.
He used to play baseball.
Whose dad's black? Mahomes? You didn't know Mahomes' dad was black?
No.
He played.
I mean, honest, I didn't know his dad was black.
That's why he can play so good, because his dad was a baseball player. So that's why he makes them crazy throws.
All right, well, congrats to
you
his
thought
father.
he was a white quarterback?
No, of course not. I mean, I thought maybe his mom was black.
No, his mom is the complexion of his wife.
You haven't seen neither one of his parents.
No. I just seen his dumbass. I just seen his dumbass brother. Okay. That's the only person.
Oh God.
Yeah, jackass Mahomes. That's who I seen. Yes.
No, if you glance, he looked just like his mama.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
But he had the athletic ability of his pops, because his pops played baseball.
Okay, that makes sense. I
got you, Raj. Hold on one second. Since you haven't seen it.
Oh God, it's gonna be a weird picture. Let me tell you. Let's say Dr. Umar would not be proud.
Oh yeah, Dr. Umar. Definitely not. Not be proud. Yeah, she's not bad. She's not a bad looking lady though. But that definitely not be proud though.
Not Dr. Umar would be upset, but he would be.
The jackass music, Mark will make it copyrighted.
Yeah, we can't actually hit the
jackass. YouTube doesn't like us for some reason.
YouTube hates us.
You know what's really really crazy is that Lamar had a chance to finish the story yesterday and didn't do it.
There is no, you know why? Because there is no story to finish.
Man, 2 MVPs.
He hasn't started the
title. He had a chance.
The only story that matters in the NFL is Taylor Swift's story. She's got to finish her story.
Yeah, over $300 million that she's helped with revenue for the NFL.
Exactly. She's going to generate even more for the Super Bowl. Even more than Usher. Go figure.
Don't you be disrespectful.
I'm not. Remember, she didn't want to do the halftime show. And guess what? She's going to be there anyway. Bringing in dollars.
Bringing in dollars to sit on her behind.
Exactly.
And support her.
Swag surf. Swag surf. That's probably the best thing the Ravens did yesterday was swag surf. That was the only great thing they did.
Full draft swag surfing. No, stop it.
Any final thoughts before we talk about this NFC game? We're gonna clip this. Depending on what time we get done, may have this out tonight.
Well, my final thoughts is it was a great season. The Ravens gave us a great ride with a very, very shitty ending. I don't know where we go from here. I put that in the thumbnail. I'm pretty sure you'll have a video for that, Byron, on your own time.
Yeah, as far as a little more goofy with these possible things I'm hearing. So.
Yeah, but as far as I think right now, I don't know where we go from here. Probably nowhere positive. Probably take a hit. Hopefully we make the playoffs next year. That's all I can hope for.
I don't even think we're gonna do it. Right? I'm feeling like we're not next year. I don't have any expectations. I told you last night. I don't even know if we're gonna make the playoffs next year.
Well, if we don't, then we don't. But I will say I do have faith in EDC. He has shown me that he can put together a team. So I do have faith in him. But as far as Harbaugh and his goofiness, I'm losing patience with him. It's time for him to go. I said this last night. He needs to get the hell up out of there. It's time, because this is, I don't know how many times he's done this since we won our last Super Bowl. Plenty of times, but he doesn't make no adjustments. He doesn't talk to his coordinators, and he just sits there and he does absolutely nothing when in key moments as a head coach, and you can't have that. And granted, they play hard for him. You know, he's always been a player's coach, but he doesn't do shit when we need him to do shit. So I think it's time for him to go. But that's just my thoughts. We'll see what happens in the offseason. Yes, he looks exactly like that. He looks exactly like that in the game.
Whatever. He don't look like no Ron Rivera.
He did look like Ron Rivera. He was fucking terrible. He was awful. And then he lied to us at halftime, saying we need to run the football, and he didn't run the football not damn near one time in the second half. I don't want to hear that. He has no excuses for him. None. Zero. Zilch. Zada. He was terrible.
Well, Raj, I'll just say this. I'll say this before anybody else says it. If you hear it anywhere else, you heard it here first. There is a guy who's not going to coach next season that will be available in 2025 if we want him. That's all I'm going to say. You know who I'm talking about? He's the greatest coach of all time. I don't care how you feel about him.
Oh, hell no.
I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
Hey, I know one thing. He wanted Lamar. I'll tell you that. He wanted Lamar on his team.
Hey, I'll take Bill and Lamar and let EDC cook. I'll take Bill with Lamar and let EDC do his thing. He ain't got to be GM.
I was about to say, I thought he didn't want Lamar.
No, he wanted Lamar.
You think Bill only running the ball 6 times? Somebody getting fired at halftime.
You understand? Well,
he going to call up. He going to take the play calling over.
And I know one thing: ain't nobody gonna be dancing in the locker room neither. Ain't nobody dancing in the locker room.
I about to say, ain't no dancing with him.
Well, we don't need no dancing.
So now, but the issue is he's gonna want GM power. He wants personnel power. Nobody's giving that. That's why.
Hopefully this year will humble him, Cravante, where he's sitting at home.
Right, but that's why he didn't get the Falcons job.
Well, Jim Harbaugh humbled himself. He didn't take the GM position in LA. He's going to coach. They got Ortiz from the Ravens. We got EDC.
Well, all the mess that goes on with him, it's like, all right, brother.
brother.
We know how you left Michigan. You ain't about to get this. Not Michigan, brother. Everybody getting paid over here.
Let's go to the NFC before